All right, good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome again to another edition of Meet the Boss series, and this is another edition where you're gonna be hearing from the CEO of Chess Imagery. And ladies and gentlemen, do not forget you're listening to the voice of that short black boy, the voice of that celebrity boyfriend, the voice of your celebrity MC. I still go by the name Pope Laws, and today we have someone here with us today, the CEO, the boss himself, the CEO of Chess Imagery, in the person of Mr. Chuka Ezebiro.
Oh, thank you, Pope Laws. I'm happy to be here with you today.
You're welcome, sir. Sir.
Thank you very much.
All right. From popular demand, we know you, we know what you do, we know your craft, and we would like to know, how did it all begin?
Well, my journey through photography was it was designed by God. That's what I always tell people. It was designed by God. It's not something that I really thought of going into after my university education. I started photography in 2014 December.
Wow.
That was when I started photography officially. But I was opportune to, after graduating in 2012, I was opportune to travel abroad for something, for an occasion. And while I traveled abroad, I had a lot of money on me then, and I was like, what can I even do with this money that can fetch back money? So I decided to buy a camera, and that was how the journey through photography started.
Wow. After
buying the camera, I came back to Nigeria 2014 March. Then that's basically how I started photography. It was as time went on, I started engaging in other trainings, but officially I started photography. I set up the brand Chess Imagery 2014 December. Then I started taking pictures 2014 March.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Wow. This one really got me. Okay. I would like to say, because Chess Imagery is a known brand in Abia State as a whole, I must say this is one of the best photography brands we have in Abia State. So please, can you tell us what was building your brand like? Like, you started photography in 2014 and this is 2020 and your name is just everywhere. So what was building the brand like?
Well, building the brand Chess Imagery was it was not something that started in a day. It was something that I immediately I started photography. I tried to make sure I improve in what I was learning. Most of the things I learned about photography was on YouTube. So while I was on YouTube trying to set up, I was more of like a freelancer. I was just ready to take pictures, ready to do free shoots, to engage in so many activities. Those were the steps I took towards building the brand Chess Imagery. Building the brand Chess Imagery has not been easy because I come from a place, according to what I tell people, is I come from a place where photography is not really appreciated.
I'm telling you.
So because it's not really appreciated, building the brand was not easy, because you need people to support you, not just financially, but to appreciate your art.
Yeah.
For you to know that this is
worth paying for.
Worth paying for. And those are things that ginger you to improve or do better in your chosen work of art.
Yeah.
So it's not been an easy one. I was opportune to go to Abuja, and when I went to Abuja, the little camera I bought when I traveled abroad and came back was, when I came back, basically I didn't see anybody in Umaya that had that kind of camera as at then.
Yes.
Well, I took that same camera to Abuja, and it was like, I was joking, because you see wedding guests using big, much more sophisticated cameras than what I was using at that time. So it's made me feel less pressure. You know, when you're working under pressure, when you're working under pressure, it's a little more difficult for you. So it was not difficult for me blending into the system of photography, because as at the time I started photography, it was just like there was no photography was inconsequential in the city. So the little thing I was doing was looking like I was doing so much. So my journey through photography, though difficult, was a little easy for me, because the city Umuahia was at that time, there was nothing much like photography in Umuahia, digital photography in Umuahia. So it was not really hard for me to settle in.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I would say, in the field of photography, I know that you could deal with a lot of clients on a daily basis.
Yes.
And most especially, let me say, coming to the wedding photography aspect and the studio aspect, like you have different clients always. And I must say, you must have been experiencing some challenges from the clients. So what kind of challenges have you experienced, like the ones you can actually remember, and how you tackled it?
Well, you know that in life we must face challenges.
Sure.
It's a normal thing to face challenges. Well, one thing I can always say is the issue of challenges is not, nobody wants to face a challenge intentionally. Photography is something that deals with mood. You deal with time, and there are a lot of factors that affect photography. So once in a while, you shoot a wedding, and for example, you're shooting a typical wedding in Umuahia. I'm not trying to bring down Umuahia, but I'm just trying to say a typical wedding in Umuahia is not really colorful, because when I mean colorful, Umuahia doesn't have the environment. Umuahia is not beautiful. You understand? And so many things come together to make these pictures look nice. You understand? You have good location, good decoration, good makeup, so sometimes it's difficult for us, because you see, when someone trusts you so much and says, Chaz, I want you to shoot my wedding, but the other complementary factors to make these pictures come out nice may not be existent or available. So that's one of the problems we have sometimes in photography, when client is like, oh no, Chaz, I don't like the pictures. At the end of the day, you're like, see,
you're not the magician.
It's not just about me. It's about so many things. So many things come to play in photography. It's not about you having the best cameras. You can have the best cameras and everything, but if the environment, if everything doesn't play out fine, there may be a little problem with the pictures. So I've had issues where everything was not good, and I did the photography, and at the end of the day, it's like, Chaz, you didn't do well. But deep down, I knew that it's still the fault. So to avoid that, I've learned to educate my clients properly before the event. I tell them, see, these are the things we need to put in place to make your pictures come out nice. That's one of the problems we have in photography most times. A very good understanding with your clients can always put you through. Yes. Since
so many people are looking up to you in the business, I believe you also have other people you are looking up. Can you tell us about these people that motivate you and inspire you?
Actually, so when I started photography, in fact, the first person that introduced me to photography was a guy called Gabriel Luco Photography, based in Abuja. That was when I started photography, and he really set the pace for me to an extent, because he introduced me to a lot of photographers back then. Photographers like Ademola Olaniran, who is now with the Lagos State Governor, official photographer of the Lagos State Governor. I met Bayo Moboreo through him. I met so many guys, but when you talk of my photography mentor is Ademola Olaniran, because a lot of things I do about photography, a lot of things I know about photography he was the one that put me through. So if you ask me about my mentor, that's basically the main person that puts me through this. Yes.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. If you have the opportunity to change your career right now, I know you studied mechanical engineering. I know you're a photographer. So if you have the opportunity to change your being a photographer, what other choice of career would you choose?
Well, apart from being a mechanical engineer, I've worked in the bank. For a certain number of months.
Hey, this is Nigeria.
Yes, I've worked in the bank, and I still have some other jobs I do too,
yes,
pertaining mechanical engineering. I'm a systems engineer, so I still have a lot of things I do with engineering. But if you ask me to change being a photographer, well, any other business I'm going to do is going to definitely pertain to events, because events will continue to hold forever.
Sure.
Events are timeless.
Sure.
When you say timeless, it's timeless.
People
continue getting married. People continue having their birthdays. People continue dying. Although we don't pray for people to die.
But that's true now.
It's a phase.
Yeah.
The old will die.
Yeah.
The same person you shot his wedding today, tomorrow, his great grandfather may die, and you're shooting the burial. Next tomorrow, his wife is giving birth, you're shooting the child dedication. Before you know what, the brother is getting married. You're shooting his own wedding. So you will continue to do events.
All right, thank you, sir. Okay, please, what should we expect from Chess Imagery, the brand as a whole, in the next 5 years?
Well, Chess Imagery, we are trying to diversify. Actually, the name of the brand is Chess Multimedia. Chess Imagery is just a subsidiary of Chess Multimedia.
Okay,
so we are looking at going into so many other things. Have tried to set up a new deluxe studio. Sometime in March next year, it's going to be ready in Umuahia. Deluxe studio is going to be world class. That's what we are looking at first.
Wow.
Set up a mini multimedia school sometime next year. And we are trying to train as many photographers and videographers as possible. Once a situation where photography is robust in the city of Umuahia, especially. Umuahia is always the main point for me. We are trying to grow to other cities, but we want to take over Umuahia first, because Umuahia is untapped. It's still untapped till now, no matter how big you think it is. So Chess Multimedia is going to, next year is going to be a very big year for us. Very, very big year. We are on so many matters. So
okay, like I've heard and I know so many people that have worked under you,
yes,
that learned photography under you. Can you just tell us the size of your workforce, and also maybe the size of the people you've trained in photography in these few years?
Right, well, in these few years, we've been able to train at least 40 to 50 photographers.
Wow.
Some of them are full-time photographers, some of them are not full-time photographers, some of them are not fully into the business of photography, some of them are fully into the business of photography. But sometimes it's not always about how many people you've trained. The growth of a brand depends on how many successful people, how many people can come out and say, can come out and you will be able to say, this person learns from me.
Yeah.
Because it's not always about you just taking the accolades of I trained this person, I trained this person. But how many people have done things close to what you have done? It's my prayer for everybody I train, or everybody that goes through Chess Imagery, to be even better than me, because there is the wish of every master that whoever he trained goes higher
Yeah.
or goes further in his career.
Yeah.
So we've trained a couple of people, 40 to 50 people,
Wow.
and we still have a lot of people coming through the ranks.
Wow.
So it's something to be proud of. It's something to be happy about. Yes.
Sure. Okay. So aside work, what other hobbies do you have?
Well. So I do so many other things. I like working out. I like taking long walks.
Wow.
That's major thing I do.
That's when you think now.
That's when I think. I take at least 10 kilometers every day.
Wow.
Most times, especially when I'm very free, I do a lot of long walks. Then I watch football. That's basically what I do.
So, what club are you supporting? Which particular club are you supporting? I hope nobody Arsenal.
No. I don't support any club. I just watch. I'm just a happy football watcher.
Okay.
I'm a supporter of good football.
Okay. Let me just ask, because there are a lot of people listening to you right now.
Okay.
So, please, sir, are you single, married, or searching?
I'm married. Fully married.
Fully married.
Married and not searching. Fully married, yes. I'm married.
With a bouncing baby.
With a bouncing baby girl.
Oh,
I'm married.
Jesus.
Married to Uche. And my wife's name is Uche.
Wow.
She's an engineer too. So,
wow.
Yeah, petroleum engineer. So that's it. She's more of a work kind of person.
Yeah.
Yes, she's not into our
kind of events.
Yes, she's just fully work.
Okay.
Work, yes.
Okay, so please, a lot of people would like to visit your page or know more about your brand. So please, can you give us your social media handle so that they can?
Okay, so my Instagram handle is at Chezimagery, CHEZIMAGERY.
Okay.
Yes, that's my Instagram handle.
So everything is situated there.
Yes, and what I want to do is to support these podcasts by group. Anybody that is following me through this platform should always should send a DM, and we'll give the person 20% discounts on our services. Yes.
I don't blue.
Yes. Anybody that does that will get 20%.
Wow.
Running to the end of this year.
Wow,
Yes.
wow.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you,
that.
sir. All right, guys. Thank you for listening. We really appreciate you joining us today. Before we round up, please, what do you have for your listeners? Let's just say that.
Okay. Yeah. I would want to advise everyone that doesn't have a hustle, or everyone that just newly graduated people, or people that have not gotten admission yet to school.
Yeah.
This is something everybody should embrace. Photography is something you should embrace. Let me talk of entrepreneurship generally. Entrepreneurship is something everyone should embrace. The country is really difficult. There are no jobs, and you can't continue to wait for 9 to 5. You can't continue to wait for 9 to 5. This is the time for you to embrace a hustle, embrace a craft, a trade, a skill. You understand? Photography is one skill that I will advise everybody to go into. It's something that would help you in life. It's something that you don't need to continue to ask your parents for 1 naira.
I'm telling you.
It's something you can make a lot of money from. And one thing that helped me in photography was the social media space. I explored the social media space very well. Learning how to use your hashtags, learning how to tag appropriately. These things help with photography. I think that is one of the problems a lot of photographers have. Not being able to use their hashtags appropriately.
Yeah.
You should be able to use your hashtags. When I started photography, I was always using this hashtag, somewhere in Umaya, hashtag Umaya. I see when people go to Instagram, they click. If you're an MC, you use MC in Umaya or makeup artist in Umaya. People will always look for need an MC in Umaya. They will go and search MC in Umaya. They will see you. And all those things help. That's where you can dominate. Once you can dominate the social media space, you're on the right track.
I've learned something today.
Yes. So social media really puts me through.
Yeah.
It really helped me. Because when I started photography, I don't think there were any photographers on Instagram. To be sincere, there was no photographer on Instagram in Umuahia as at the time I started photography in 2014. No photographer on Instagram. So when I was using that hashtag, anybody that, as at that time, I remember big photographers like T.Y. Bello, when they came to Umuahia in 2014. They reached out to me because as at that time when they searched photographers in Umuahia, I was the only one that was popping up in the thing. Yeah, so I got to meet a lot of those photographers through that. So it's something that everybody should try to learn how to explore and exploit the social media space. And once you can explore it, you're sure of what you're doing. Yes.
All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you for joining us. Just want to say thank you, a big thank you, and thank you, Uncle Chuka.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate this, and I believe that so many people have learned a lot from this session today. And do not forget to follow us on our social media platforms at Talkcast with Populous. Please do like our page on Facebook at Talkcast with Populous. I beg you. This podcast also will be available on YouTube. You can also follow us on YouTube. Subscribe to my channel at official.